Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I am going to teach you how to make a storyboard tumbler. This is my first one ever and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Today we are doing a storyboard tumbler. This is a 30 ounce. I got it from Hog. You can get them off of stainlesssteeldepot.com. That's where I got mine. So basically this is what it looks like when you take it out of the packaging. Okay, it comes with, you can remove the lid from the bottom, okay, and then you pull out the stainless steel. This is what we're going to be working with, and then it just comes with some paper. You can throw this away. So it comes with these three things, okay guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this away. We're going to put the lid, and the bottom part back in the box until we're done, because I don't want to lose that. And this is the part that we're going to be working with, okay? There's a little hole here at the bottom. I know that a lot of people don't fill it with anything, which is fine. If that works, that's great. But just because I want to be quadruple safe, I'm going to fill this with hot glue. And then I'm going to show you guys how we're going to tape everything off and get this ready to start our tumbler. Okay guys, for the next part of the tutorial, we want to tape off this top part right here. I know myself, I'm pretty clumsy, and I know that I will probably scratch it somehow, so I definitely don't want to do that. So I am just going to cover it with tape. Also, I'm going to spray paint the cup, and I don't want to get any spray paint on this outer rim. So I'm just going to go around the whole cup and just cover it with tape. I'm excited to do this for you guys because I think this is something so fun to do. Like if you want to give this as a Christmas gift or you want to make this for your kids. I'm just going to tuck the tape inside. I'm just going to go around reinforcing the tape, making sure I didn't miss a spot. Okay, because this part of the stainless steel is going to be exposed when the cup is all done. So you definitely don't want to get any spray paint on it. Also, as you guys can see, I have the hole completely covered with glue. And we're going to protect these little ridges right here because we want to make sure that when we finish the cup, that we don't have any issues screwing the lid on. Because if we get something on here, then the lid is not going to screw on. We're not going to have a tight seal, and then we're going to have leakage. Okay, that sounded so gross. I'm so sorry. But yes, that's basically what it is, though. We will have leakage. So basically, I taped off the rim, taped off this. Now I'm going to basically do exactly what I would with any regular tumbler. I'm going to put my sponges in here and spray paint it. So I went outside and spray painted this. I did 2 solid coats of white, just like you would prep any other tumbler. And now I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll come back and apply glitter. I'm gonna apply Mod Podge with this brush that I got at Walmart. I went yesterday and I got a few extra brushes. And I am gonna apply diamonds from Glitter Heart Company. I basically want to apply water slides to this tumbler. And I normally do white water slides, but for this one, I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do white water slides. I'm gonna do clear water slides. I really want the glitter to shine through. So I figured white glitter would be my best option so that I can do the clear water slide and still have like all the details showing of the images and obviously still have that pretty sparkle. Now, I'm not gonna glitter the bottom. I'm not gonna glitter this part. So I'm kind of just bringing my brush around the edge. And I'm only gonna do 1 coat of glitter, you guys. I think what's gonna be really exciting about this tumbler is that because you're gonna have your water and your glycerine and you're gonna put some more glitter into the water with the glycerine, it's gonna be pretty forgiving of like little things that you might miss, or maybe if you feel like you didn't get like 100% full coverage. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I telling you to cut corners and not provide quality work. Absolutely not. I'm just saying normally I would probably do 2 coats of glitter if I didn't have full coverage. But for this one, I'm not. I also don't want to make this too thick because I do have to put the lid on top right now. Well, not right now, but when I'm ready for it, and I don't want it possibly not fit because I've got so many layers of epoxy and glitter. So basically this is what we're gonna do, guys. I feel like I've got pretty good coverage here, so I'm just gonna go around one time, make sure that my lines are nice and smooth. You know that you don't really want to leave too many thick lines when you're applying Mod Podge. And then I'm just gonna go over it and drizzle my white diamonds. This is one of my favorite glitters, you guys. I really love this white. It just has such a pretty shimmer to it, and gosh, I really hope that you guys are appreciating how like pretty it is. I also feel like a lot of white glitter and a lot of black glitter will lose their sparkle under epoxy and just kind of look white or like black. Sometimes black, you can't even tell it's black glitter. Sometimes it just looks like a black base. And this is one of those white glitters that definitely, I think, sparkles even more under epoxy. So I'm just a really big fan of this glitter. It's definitely one of my go-tos. Glitter Heart Company has really beautiful glitter, and this is not a paid ad or anything like that, guys. I wish. I wish. I'm just telling you guys a glitter company that I really enjoy, which is them. I have a lot of their glitters. Also, sorry if you guys can hear outside car noises. I'm in my garage. Like I said, I'm moving and I'm just trying to do the best with what I have, guys. I really still want to do tutorials with you guys, even though I'm moving. So I'm just trying to make everything work. But especially this one, because I feel like this is going to be something super exciting to do for the holidays. So I'm thinking about, I'm indecisive if this is going to be Christmas themed or Halloween themed. I don't know yet. But if I do turn this into a Christmas themed cup, then my next storyboard cup is going to be Halloween. Okay, guys, now I'm going to go ahead and seal this with my polyacrylic. This is the one I like to use. I get this at Lowe's, or you can also get it at Walmart. I usually do 2 to 3 solid coats. You really want to seal your glitter because you don't want it to get lumpy when you go over it with your epoxy and like get into, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and seal this, and I'm gonna get some epoxy on her, and then whenever she cures, we'll be able to add our water slides. I can't wait. Thank you guys for watching, and sorry that this tutorial is so ghetto, but I feel like that's just who I am at this point. Mwah! That's for you. Okay, guys, I got some epoxy on her. She is looking beautiful. So I wanted to come show you guys this because I want you to see that I tried to get the epoxy as far up as I could in there, as much as I could. And I didn't bring the epoxy down to the bottom part. The people that I've watched their tutorials haven't epoxied that part, and I don't want the lid to not fit at the bottom. So since this part isn't visible anyway, I didn't glitter it and I didn't epoxy it. I just brought my epoxy all the way to the little curve. And after this is cured in a couple of hours, or I guess I should say like 8 hours, I'll go ahead and come back and do the water slides. I hope you guys are enjoying this tutorial. We are ready to put our water slides on our tumbler. This is what I'm gonna be doing. I haven't cut them yet because I want to show you guys the step-by-step process of how I do this. So I printed this out from my Photoshop, and then I sealed it I did 3 even coats with, sorry, I keep flipping it this way, but I used triple thick crystal clear glaze, and I do 3 even coats. I let each coat dry for 20 minutes, and then the last coat, I let it dry for a little bit longer. This is transparent water slide paper. What that means is that it has a clear background. So when I put this on the cup, you're gonna be able to see the glitter through. And that's what I wanted for this cup also, because it's transparent. I don't have to cut perfect because the white pipe, you're not gonna be able to see it. If this was a white water slide, I would have to have my machine cut it out perfectly. White water slides are mostly used for like dark backgrounds. So like if this cup was black and I wanted to do a water slide, I would not be able to do a clear water slide because you would not be able to see the detail in the water slide. Does that make sense? So anyway, guys, I've already sealed it. I've cut it out. So I've got warm water right here, and I've got my silicone squeegee to help me with the application. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this water slide right here. I'm gonna submerge it in the water. Okay, and then I'm gonna, this is usually how I do it, but I usually take like my fingertips and I get the area of the cup wet that I'm gonna be, let me move you guys a tiny bit over so you guys can have a pretty good view. Whoops, a pretty good view of what I'm doing. But I basically take my fingertips and I just kind of drizzle. I get the area wet that I am gonna slide my water slide on. And so basically, I leave this in the water. You only need to leave it for like 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds, but not really. It just depends. So what I do is I take my finger and I kind of slide this around, and when you know that your water slide is ready to be applied to your tumbler is when you can pick this up and slide it with your finger and the image starts to completely slide off of the backing. That's when you know it's ready. So I usually just leave it in the water. I keep drizzling water over my tumbler, and I just kind of wait for it to be, you know, I don't want to, loose is not the word. I want it to like slide very easily, and it's not quite there yet. We'll wait a few more seconds. In order for you, I know a lot of you already know how to apply water slides, but I get a lot of questions about water slides, so I know that there's a lot of people who are unfamiliar. For water slides, you want to make sure that you have a smooth surface. So you would never apply a water slide over glitter that hasn't been epoxied. You always want to make sure that you're applying it over epoxy, and you want to make sure you don't have any lumps or bumps because you will be able to see every single imperfection. Okay, so now do you see how it's sliding? That's when you know your water slide is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that wet again. Bring it on here. Once I have the placement where I want it, I basically take my left hand and put it over the whole water slide and then gently pull the backing out. This helps me keep the whole water slide where I want it. I usually dip my little silicone spatula or a little spunt brush into the water, and then I basically, once I have the water slide where I want it, I gently start to squeegee the water out. And as you can see, the water slide is transparent, so you can't even see, like how I was showing you guys how here it looks white, but I told you guys I can cut it out with my hand because once I put it on the tumbler, it's actually, you're not gonna be able to tell. So that's basically what transparent water slides do. But if I would have put this water slide on a black base, you would not be able to see the details at all. So you really only want to use transparent water slides on very light colors. For best results, preferably white. So I'm basically just tapping gently. Water slides are pretty forgiving, but you still don't want to rub too much. But I'm just making sure that I didn't miss any areas, that I squeegeed the water out of everything. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. So I am going to turn my tumbler to this side right here, and then we're going to apply our next water slide, and then we just throw it in the water. I don't know if this actually makes a difference or not, you guys, but I like to use, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I have it exactly in the center of the other side. I like to use warm water for my water slides. Maybe it doesn't make any difference, I don't know, but I use warm water to apply my tattoos, so I just am used to it by now. But did you guys see how easy that was? And like, don't overthink it. It's fine. And you know what, guys? If you do try to apply a water slide and you mess it up, it's totally fine because you can literally just peel it off and reprint it. That is what's amazing about water slides, you know? And I like them because in order to have done this design, I would have had to have layered so many different vinyls and done so much weeding, and it's just so much easier to be able to use water slides. I'm a huge fan of water slides. I know you guys know this. I'm currently working on tumbler where I applied an entire water slide. So this right here is a whole water slide, but this is a water slide on white water slide paper because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with a cup. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have a dark background. So this is what a white water slide looks like. Has a different image on the back side. So I'm just a really big fan of water slides, and don't worry, I will definitely be doing a tutorial soon where I teach you how to apply a large water slide. Okay, see how this is like sliding off of the backing? That's when I know that it's ready. Once again, I place my left hand over the entire water slide to hold it in place. I pull the backing off with my right hand, and then sometimes I just like to stand over the cup just to make sure that the that the water slide is straight and that the words are not like slanted, so that when the cup is sitting straight, nothing looks crooked. And then I just gently squeegee the water out from under the water slide, just like I did with the other one. Make sure there's no air bubbles, make sure there's no water bubbles. I saw a water bubble, but I think I got it out. And then I just take my paper towel and I gently dab, okay? And then I am going to I got some water on the back side because I was doing the water slide on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna let this dry. Normally I turn on my fan and I point it at my cup so that it dries faster because I'm impatient. But once this is completely dry, you guys, I don't have to seal it with any sort of spray. I can epoxy right over this. And the beauty about water slides is that as soon as they're completely dry, you're ready to go over it with epoxy, and one thin layer of epoxy will completely cover this. I hope this has been helpful so far, you guys. I'm gonna wait for this to dry, do a coat of epoxy, and then we're gonna be ready for the next step. Hey guys, I am back and I went ahead and removed the tape from the top and the bottom. And now I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife and clean up the inside rim because we're going to glue on, or not glue on, but I'm gonna seal the lid on with epoxy. And we wanna make sure that there's not anything in the way. So right now I'm just kind of taking my my X-Acto knife and just kind of going around the edge and kind of removing anything that I see. And then you want to take your X-Acto knife and just push it on the inside and just kind of go around and make sure that there's no pieces of epoxy, of like dry epoxy that are in there that will prevent the lid from fitting or being able to properly seal, because we don't want our we don't want to have any leaks, you guys, right? So that's pretty good. Okay, so I just kind of go around the rim of your cup, make sure you clean out any chunks of epoxy, any of that. And then I'm gonna take this tiny little brush and just kind of brush out anything that I like scraped off, any loose glitter that might have escaped and gone in there. Okay, and I'm just using a little brush like this, okay? It works perfect because it fits into that little opening. So just making sure I'm cleaning this area out. When I pour my epoxy in there, I want it to really adhere. So this is what it's looking like, you guys. Super duper cute. I am obsessed with her, like super obsessed with her. And I didn't put any epoxy down here, which is fine. But anyway, guys, we are going to go ahead and put the lid on. So let me grab that real quick. Acrylic lid. Okay, we're gonna stick it on like this. And so I wanna make sure that I put epoxy in here so that it seals, okay? So I am going to grab my chemical mask. Okay, I am back. Sorry that I sound muffled. I have my chemical mask on. I have mixed equal parts of A and B of epoxy. I am going to use a metal stirring stick. Let me get something off of there. I'm going to stir pretty aggressively because I don't care about bubbles, because this is just going to go in here. So it doesn't really matter too much. Sorry. Every time I hear the sound of my chemical mask in the video, I always laugh. It's like, but you know what? Safety first. And we're gonna make a mess when we do this, guys, but it's okay because I'm gonna use alcohol and a paper towel to clean the rim, okay? So it's gonna be fine. Okay, so once we have all of this completely mixed, I am gonna take some epoxy, and I'm gonna use the rest of the epoxy for a mold, you guys, okay? So don't come for me, I'm not a waster, So I'm basically gonna get that, and like I said, the epoxy that I get everywhere, I'm gonna clean it up before I walk away from this cup to let it cure. But we do want to make sure we have epoxy in there because we want to have a pretty good seal. We don't want our liquid to spill, right? Sorry if you guys can hear my neighbors. Well, I don't know if it's my neighbors, but like a few of the houses by my house are vacant, and so housing comes and cleans them up. So it might be the maintenance guys out there. It's really hard to get it into this little crevice right here, but you just got to do your best and maneuver your way around and try to get it in there because you want a really good seal, you guys. You definitely want a really good seal so that we don't spill, so that none of our liquid comes out and spills. Okay. I feel like the metal stirring stick is a little bit skinnier than a popsicle stick. So I feel like it's helping me get the epoxy in there pretty good. I'm just gonna go all the way around the cup, all the way around the cup. Thank you guys. This is like a tedious part. I've never done this before, guys, but I will let you know, I watched so many videos and I did a lot of research before I did this. I wanted to try it, and then I said, you know what? When I post this cup in my Facebook group, my girls are gonna want to make it, and I'm gonna feel bad that I didn't film this for them. So this is kind of like me experimenting with this type of cup and taking you guys along for the ride. I've only been making cups for 5 months, you guys, and I learn as I go. I make a lot of mistakes. I don't take myself too seriously because you guys know what? They're just cups, you guys. I seriously, I know I sound like a broken record, but I always tell people that. Like, it's not that serious. They're just cups. If you make a mistake or if you're doing something wrong, you'll learn. You will learn from your mistakes and everything will be fine in the world. It's nothing to get bent out of shape over. It's nothing to get super serious about. I mean, I definitely would make sure that you know what you're doing before you sell a cup. I'm not selling this cup because first I need to make sure that the seal works. I need to make sure that it's going to hold out. So I'm not selling this. This is just something I'm experimenting with, and then I'm going to keep it. There's a very good amount of epoxy at the bottom. I'm just going around one more time to make sure that I didn't miss any spots. Just kind of everywhere. Okay. Yeah, I have epoxy everywhere. I'm going to use this for a mold, so I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, guys. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take some alcohol, spray it on a paper towel, and clean up my mess before I put the lid on. It comes right off, you guys. It ain't nothing but a chicken wing. Don't sweat the small stuff. I hate how I'm talking right now. It's so funny that when I laugh, the noise my chemical mask wears. But it's okay. You guys already know I've ended up in the hospital before. I educated myself properly on safety when working with epoxy, and so I don't mind if I sound silly, as long as I am not gonna feel the effects of the epoxy later. Okay guys, so I've cleaned up the epoxy mess that I made. I'm gonna remove this because it has epoxy at the bottom. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the acrylic lid, and I have to put a lot of pressure on it until I hear a click, okay? So I've got my acrylic lid. Sorry, there's something on the inside. I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe the inside of the lid. Like this, because you don't want any fingerprints. You don't want anything on the inside because you won't be able to clean that up later. So I know it's hard to see, but I'm just kind of giving it a little clean on the inside. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to take the lid, push it down into place, okay? And I have to stand up and put a lot of pressure on this. All right, so okay. You want to make sure that you have a very tight seal. So you put a lot of pressure as you twist, okay? It is on there, you guys. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another paper towel with alcohol on it, and I'm just going to clean this outside rim, make sure nothing popped out, okay? And then I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to let it cure, okay? Because we don't want the water to counteract with the epoxy, so we got to let this sit for a day or two, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, just really quickly, when I ended the last video, I noticed that it wasn't sealed all the way, so I pushed it further down with a lot of weight and I heard a click, okay? So make sure that you push the lid down, that you push the clear acrylic cover down until you hear a click, okay? That's what it should look like. Now I'm gonna let it sit here until it dries and it cures. And then the next time you guys see me, it'll be the fun part because we'll be adding our glitter and glycerine and water. Hello ladies, we're back. This is what it's looking like. It's been sitting in this position for 2 days. I let it completely dry and I gave it some time to cure. And hopefully it's sealed correctly. I've never done one of these before, so to be honest, I'm a little nervous, but now we're ready for the fun part. I am going to be using Glitter Chimp. This is Resting Witch Face. This is the glitter that I'm gonna put inside. And I'm gonna use vegetable glycerine. If you guys wanna use baby oil or contact solution, you can. I've used baby oil, it works, it's just messy. I've never used contact solution, but I heard it works really well. But I'm gonna work with what I have, and what I have is vegetable glycerine. So I have a measuring container, and then I have a clear plastic cup. So I am going to mix equal parts vegetable glycerine and water. I use bottled water. I don't know if you're supposed to use bottled water or tap water. I would think you don't want to use tap water, so just to be safe, I use this kind of water from Walmart because you know I'm always balling on a budget. This is the vegetable glycerine that I'm going to be using today. I got this from Amazon. You don't have to use this specific brand. You can use any that you want. So I am going to start off with 100 milliliters of the vegetable glycerine. I don't know if that's too much, but if it is, it's okay because I have another cup that I'm working on, so I can use it for that. I don't like to waste, you guys. So that's 100 milliliters. I'm gonna pour them into my container that I have ready right here. Perfect. I'm gonna use my little stirring stick to get all of it out. Guys, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I don't want this to flop. I hope that I did a really good job sealing it because I'm really excited about this cup. I'm really excited about the tutorial. Like I said, I'm not an expert in these cups, so if I have said something wrong or done something wrong, I'm sorry. Like I said, I literally just figured out how to do this, and of course I wanted to share it with you guys right away because I know when I post it on my Facebook group, everyone's gonna want to do it, and I want my baddies to be able to do it too. So I did 100 milliliters of glycerin and 100 milliliters of water. So now I'm gonna mix it. I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of cloudy, okay? So I am gonna mix it until it's completely clear, okay? Make sure you scrub the stuff that's on the sides of the cup if there's like little veiny things. And then you just wanna mix really, really good until it's totally clear. Hey guys, I wanna apologize. There was a little mishap in my tutorial. I'm very sad about it. I don't know what happened, but the part where I was filling this cup with the vegetable glycerin and water and the glitter didn't record. I'm so sorry, but it's okay because there's nothing to it. Literally all I did was, once I mixed my vegetable glycerin and water, all I did was tilt the cup at an angle and I poured the contents inside. I filled it up to about right here, and then I dumped my glitter in. I didn't want to do too much glitter because I don't want to cover the cool image. So I put glycerin and water up to here, and then I added the amount of glitter that I wanted. And then once the glitter was in there, I filled it up to about right here. You don't want it to go above this line right here, because this is the part that we have to put some epoxy on to seal our lid. And so just to be safe, I only filled it up to like right below that line. So that's all you guys missed, guys. I promise you didn't miss anything too crazy. It's literally just pouring the liquid and the glitter in here. And I'm gonna be filming another tutorial for these. I'm gonna do a Halloween version, which is gonna be amazing. Stay tuned for that. And I will be sure to make sure that that part is recorded, guys. I'm really sorry. Hey guys, I'm back with my chemical mask. I am mixing my epoxy. I mixed a little bit of extra because I have a keychain that I need to make right after this. So I am just making a little bit extra. And I don't care that I have this many bubbles. I'm stirring aggressively because, first of all, you're not going to be able to see this. And second of all, by the time I get to the keychain, the bubbles will have settled a little bit. And I'll be able to pop the rest of them with my torch. So just making sure that I have it really, really mixed because I don't want it to not cure. I'm really excited about this cup and I don't want to have any sort of mistakes. Okay, so it's fully mixed. So I am going to go ahead and use my finger to get it in the areas where I want it. So I'm just going to dip my finger into the epoxy, not a whole lot, just like this much. And then I'm just going to rub it around the edges. Sorry that you can hear my mask. Oh my gosh. I can't get over how funny it sounds. But anyway, I kind of want to get into every one of these little ridges just to get an extra good seal. So I just kind of want to go around. I don't want this cup to leak because I'm so obsessed with it. Got a little bit on the side of the cup, no big deal, I just wiped it. Like I said, guys, this is kind of messy, but it's totally okay because you can just take some alcohol and a paper towel and wipe the epoxy off right away and it'll come right off. You just don't want to let it sit there for too long. Okay, so I feel like I have pretty good coverage. I totally coated this in epoxy. Now I'm gonna cut, this is the lid. I'm gonna get some epoxy in here and in the edges because I really don't want any of this glycerine to get out. This water and glycerine, right? Let me move this a little bit, but just show you guys what I'm doing. Dipping my finger in the epoxy, just kind of getting it everywhere. Just so I have an extra good seal. I always laugh when I hear myself in these videos, like, what do I think I am? Okay guys, so now I'm going to use my stirring stick to kind of get my epoxy like in here at the bottom, just to make sure I have a pretty good coat down here. You don't want to make it too bulky because I mean, it's gonna squirt out anyway, or come out when you squeeze the lid on. But I'm just gonna wipe the excess. But I do wanna have, gosh, it's so hard to explain. Like, you wanna have enough where you're securing a really good seal, but you also don't want to overdo it. Also, I need to calm down and humble myself. This is my first time making this cup. Now that I've coated the bottom, I'm just gonna make sure I have plenty of epoxy around here. All right, guys, time to add our lid on. So here we go. We've got our epoxy on it. I'm gonna go ahead and secure it really tightly. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a paper towel, alcohol, spray it, and just make sure if any epoxy got out, just clean it. Clean all of the epoxy. And then I'm gonna let this sit for a day or two, just so that my epoxy fully dries and cures, and then I will be back.